So class 9, today we are going to start new chapter from biology, that is chapter number 6, tissues. So already in the previous chapter we had studied about the cells, that all the living organisms are made up of cells. So according to cell there are two types of organisms, unicellular and multicellular. So unicellular organism, single cell performs all the functions. For example, in amoeba a single cell carries out movement, intake of food, digestion, respiration and excretion. So in multicellular organisms there are millions of cells. So most of these cells are specialized to carry out few functions, and each specialized function is taken up by a different group of cells. So in multicellular organisms there are millions of cells, and the different group of cells, they carry out specialized functions. For example, in human beings, muscle cells, they contract and relax to cause movement. Nerve cells carry messages. Then blood flows to transport oxygen, food, hormones and waste material. In plants also, vascular tissues conduct food and water from one part of the plant to other parts. So in multicellular organism, they show division of labor. Division of labor means the functions are carried out by group of cells. So each cell, they have their own functions. That is why all the functions, particular functions, they do very efficiently. So that means a particular function is carried out by a group of cell, or that is called a cluster of cells. So the cluster means the group of cells at definite place in the body, and this cluster of cell is called tissue. This cluster of cell is called tissue. It is arranged and designed so as to give the highest possible efficiency of the function. Like we can take the example muscle, then blood, phloem tissues, these all are the example of tissues. So we can say that a group of cells that are similar in structure, or they do work together to achieve a particular forms, a tissue. That is also we can say that the cluster of cells, the cluster of cell is called a tissue, or a group of cells that are similar in structure or work together to achieve a particular function. That group of cells forms a tissue. Simple way we can say that the cluster of cells is called a tissue. So if we will compare the plant's tissue and animal tissue, both are having tissues, then you might have some idea that plant and animal tissues may be same. So first we will compare whether the animal tissue and plant tissue, they are made up of same type of tissues, or animals and plants, they have different tissues. So for that we have to compare their structure and functions. And if we will compare the structure of plants and animals, then there are basic noticeable difference, that the plants are stationary. Plants are stationary means they are fixed, they don't move. So most of the tissues, they have supportive which provides them with structural strength, and most of these tissues are dead, since dead cells can provide mechanical strength as easily as live ones and need the maintenance. And if we will see the animals, they can move around in search of food, mats and shelter. So they consume more energy as compared to plants. So most of the tissues they contain are living. So the basic difference first we are getting according to the structure, that the plants are stationary, they are fixed, they don't move. So most of the cells are dead cells, because most of the tissues they have which are supportive, which provides them structural strength. And on the other hand, animals, they can move around, so they consume more energy as compared to the plants. So another difference if we will see, then you can see the pattern of growth in animals and plants. The growth in plants is limited to a certain regions, but in animal case it is not like that. So there are some tissues in plants that divide throughout their life. So we will study about them. They are localized in certain regions and known as the growing tissue or meristematic tissue. So in plants also some tissues, some regions tissues are there which are growing. So those tissues are classified as growing or meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So cell growth in animal is more uniform. So there is no such dividing and non-dividing regions in the animal. So if we will see that the structural and functional, we will compare plants and animals according to their structure and function. So we can get the basic difference. We can notice that these are plants are stationary, they are made up of dead cells mostly, and most of the tissues they are supportive, which provide them structural strength. And then the growth in plant is limited to a certain regions. So some tissues are there in the plant that divide throughout their life, and those tissues are localized in certain regions and classified as growing or meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. But in case of animals, they can move around, so they consume more energy as compared to the plants. And then there is no dividing and non-dividing region in animal cells. So these are the difference between the plant and animal according to the tissues, according to the type of tissues. So first of all, we will see about the plant tissues. So the growth of plants occurs only in certain specific regions. This is because the dividing tissue, which is known as meristematic tissue, is located only at this point. So first of all, there are two types of tissues like meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So now if we will see the meristematic tissue, then it is again divided into three categories, that is apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. So first of all, plant tissue is of two types, growing tissue or meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So growing tissue is also known as meristematic tissue. It is located only at few points. So depending on the region where they are present, so depending on the points where they are present or depending on the region where they are present, meristematic tissue are again classified as apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. So new cells produced by meristem are initially like those of meristem itself, but as they grow and mature, their characteristics slowly change and they become differentiated as components of other tissue. And other type of plant tissue is permanent tissue. So first of all, we will see what is apical, intercalary and lateral, then we will go to the permanent tissue. So here you can see the different types of meristem: apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. So apical meristem, it is present at the growing tips of stems and roots, and it increases the length of the stem and the root. So this is the function of the apical meristem. It increases the length of the stem and the root. The girth of the stem or root increases due to the lateral meristem. Due to this lateral meristem, the girth of the stem or the root increases. So intercalary meristem, this meristem at the base of the leaves or internodes, that means on the either side of the node on twigs. So based on the region where the meristems are present, they are classified as apical, lateral and intercalary, where apical is present at the growing tips of stems and root and increases the length of the stems and root. Lateral meristem increases the girth of the stem or root, and the intercalary meristem, it is found at the base of leaves or internodes on either side of the node on twigs. So this tissue, the cells are very active. In this tissue, meristematic tissue, the cells are very active. They have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose walls and prominent nuclei, but they lack vacuoles, because meristematic cells divide frequently and give rise to new cells. Vacuoles causes hindrance in cell division, because vacuole is full of cell shape. We had studied in the previous class that previous chapter, vacuoles, they are full of cell shape and it provides turgidity and rigidity to the cell. So it causes hindrance in cell division. That is why the cells in the meristematic tissue, they are very active. They have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose walls and prominent nuclei, but they lack vacuoles, because meristematic cell, its function is to divide frequently and give rise to new cells. If vacuoles are there, that means vacuoles will cause hindrance in the cell division, because vacuoles contain cell shape which provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. So for this reason, meristematic cells or meristematic tissue, they don't have vacuoles or they lack vacuoles. So this is about the meristematic tissue of plants. So in next class we will discuss about the permanent tissue.